How was the Bahamas? It was nice. Nice reset.
Yes.
So KK says her role on this team is being the menace. What is your role on this team?
The menace, that's a good one. I would say being a upperish classman person now, I would say it's just, setting the example, especially as a post player, being one of the more experienced ones. Being an example, holding myself to that same standard too, but I don't have a good one like menace, but yeah, just holding the example, again, being one of the older ones on the team.
What's the toughest part of that role for you, just stepping into that now?
I feel like even though I am redshirt sophomore or junior, I still only have like 1 year of experience, so even though that is more than like Sarah and Jana, still remembering that, I am older and just been here before, played in more games that they have, so just really leaning into that and, setting that example. Experience, but not super experienced like Paige or Aubrey, the old guys. But just remembering to know that there's other people looking up to me too, so making sure that I set that good example.
Is there a specific UConn player that you look up to as a big?
I love Nafisa Collier, obviously Stewie, Tina Charles, the list goes on, there's so many. But I would say those are like my main ones that I definitely favorite for sure.
Have you looked back at this point now, you remember last year you just kind of got thrust into everything and where you are from a confidence standpoint and Mets, what do you think about it now?
I mean, when it was happening, it was like a lot, like you said, definitely was thrown into it. It was learning as I went, but now I'm just so thankful that happened. Especially, again, like being one of the older players, I'm glad I had that experience, and it helps me just, again, kind of stay on my feet, still. And yeah, that was definitely an experience, but again, I'm glad it happened. It helped me, and I definitely see how it helped me, be prepared for now, and again, more to come later on, and hopefully we can have this conversation later in months. So, yeah.
What is the biggest difference with you? Because you look, when you're out there on the court, like you look more confident, like John said, you look lighter, you look like, what's the biggest difference for you from last year to now?
A lot of it was mental. Obviously coming back from injury, that's always going to play a part, just, getting used to trusting my knee again. But honestly, a lot of it was mental, and a lot of it was my faith. I leaned on that throughout my injury, and then also coming back and, just spending time with God and just, finding out who I was besides a basketball player. I feel like that was my hardest part. Because when I wasn't doing well, I felt like I didn't have an identity. So finding an identity outside of basketball and just leaning on God, trusting Him, trusting His timing. And even though the plan didn't look like the way I wanted it to, I'm still here. He still brought me here. And letting that honestly just like lighten me up, I guess you would say. And just, giving my confidence back and remembering that it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be pretty all the time, but, just trusting God and allowing Him to give me strength in the times where I didn't think I had it is definitely one of the biggest things I think that I lean on now and will moving forward.
So what was that identity that you found that kind of stabilizes you as a person and allows you to be a better basketball player?
Just honestly being a child of God and a daughter of a king. I went to this camp called Ultimate Training Camp back in May, when school ended this past semester. And that camp really helped me a lot with my identity and just like really understanding just my role as, being a child of God, and letting that just give me so much confidence and security in that itself, and then allowing Him to give me the ability to, empower me to do other things, honestly. Obviously, basketball is my gift, but that's not the only thing that I want to, be known for.
So does that entail being a giving, caring person, or
Yes.
what exactly?
Yeah, giving, caring, confident, nurturing, like everything like that. There was definitely things I'm still working on, still healing certain things, but it's so great because you get to really understand like God's grace and His mercy for you. And even though I'm not perfect, He still gives me the ability to come back and be better teammate, be a better like player for my coaches to coach me. I didn't have that last year. I felt like any time that I was struck with something that didn't go my way, I thought that was it. But giving myself grace, understanding God's grace for me, and allowing that to keep me motivated, keep me honestly just pushing forward. So yeah.
Do you feel like the Ice before the injury now?
In certain ways, yeah. Not mentally, I don't want to be that same person, but physically, yeah. And just getting back to like my confidence, I feel like certain things I still haven't fully tapped into yet, which is like confidence and being more aggressive. But also, it's it's a fine line because I'm playing with other great athletes. I don't need to take every shot and stuff like that. But body wise and everything like that, yeah, I'm starting to get back to that, and that I'm happy about.
Is there something you need to kind of solidify your confidence? Because each time you talk about it, it's like, I'm still working on that. I'm almost there. I'm kind of, sort of a leader. Is there something that has to happen? I mean, do you just need a breakout week or?
Honestly, I feel like it's, for me, something that I'm always going to be working on. I was actually just talking about it this morning with one of my mentors or whatever. But some people, it just seems like they have so much confidence. Like Paige, you would never ever think she's insecure or struggles with wanting to take a shot or anything like that. But yeah, I feel like it's just something I'm always going to be working on, to the point where I know that okay, even though I maybe feel unsure, I still have, I don't know. And for me, that's where I get my confidence from God. Even though I feel like if I'm not fully equipped for something, in the future, I'm nervous about whatever, I got to do this, I got to step up, be this person, have confidence that I know that he's going to give me what I need in that time. So sometimes I feel like that's a little bit of the struggle and again, something I'm working on, but I feel like, you get anxious because you're like, I need to do this, I'm not ready, I feel unprepared. But part of the journey is also and again, I'm working on, is trusting that when that time comes, he will help me, he'll provide for me and everything like that. So yeah.
Do you feel the expectations of being at a program like this to perform at the highest level?
Yeah. I mean, of course. I feel like we're all going to feel that. You walk into our practice facility, see all the names and banners, and who did we just play when, Coach Scott hit his number, Yeah. And he, all those alumni there, and you're just like, this is crazy because it's a lot of amazing athletes, But at the end of the day, you just remember that it's family too, and everyone went through it. And I feel like when you lean into seeing Nafisa Collier, Diane Taurasi, Super, seeing all those guys, okay, they went through the same thing, and you hear them talk about, everyone has a story. So instead of letting it, give you pressure, and hold you down, you kind of let it lift you up and be like, okay, this doesn't feel great right now, coach is down on me, but whoever just went through this, whatever, same thing. So yeah.
KK and Ash are also only in their second year of basketball here. What have you seen in them? They seem to be very comfortable in their roles at this point.
Yeah, I would say their work ethic, honestly, Ash and KK are especially Ash, are very routine, and they do the same thing every day, whether that's shooting a certain amount of shots, working on this move, working on this play, watching film. I think that's definitely helped them. You could see on the court, especially last year, they were kind of also thrown into a position where they had to step up and start. They handled that great, and again, I think that also prepared them too for this year, even though roles are a little bit different. Now everyone, I feel like we have more pieces that, even though we're young, we have more confidence because we, had more experience than maybe a normal freshman would have. So yeah.
And those more pieces too, with the post, bigs, to help you. What's it like competitive-wise this year as opposed to last year? I know you had obviously Leanne there banging around when she got hurt. It was just, there wasn't a lot to, mark yourself against.
No, it's great. When we played Ole Miss just now in the Bahamas, when I got in foul trouble and Jana stepped up and she played great. It was, all over the boards, finishing. That's great. Obviously, you don't want to be in foul trouble and don't want to deal with that sort of stuff, but it is nice to know that, when I go down, when someone else goes down or whatever's going on, we have more than just one person behind us to, help step up. And again, with her building her confidence, Sarah getting more accumulated, it's just college basketball, but even though she's been doing great, but it's nice to have more than just one person for sure.
What's your impression of Sarah? This first 6 games, I know you saw her all summer as well, but
I mean, I feel like mine is the same as everybody else's. She's really good. So yeah, and I'm glad she's my teammate. So yeah.
Do you guys make each other better? I mean, obviously she comes in and she offers a lot there. How much do you guys help each other? How much has she helped your game? As a freshman coming?
Oh yeah, I feel like we definitely have different differences but similarities at the same time. Being able to shoot, being comfortable with her more so putting the ball on the floor and stuff like that. But just leaning into that, being competitive before and after practice, whether that's getting up shots or working in the post, and just remembering that we're on the same team, and at the end of the day, we're trying to win a championship, and leaning on each other is definitely something that we've been doing for sure.
If you had the chance to talk If you had the chance to talk to like your younger self last year, what would you tell her? Like, what piece of advice would you give her?
Oh gosh. I would probably just say keep going, to be honest. It's funny, I actually, you see like Snapchat memories from like a year ago and stuff like that. And just was a completely different person at that time, just mentally was just trying to figure it out. And I didn't really think that there was going to be a light, at the end of the tunnel. It was pretty frustrating, but I would just say keep going and stay in your word, keep praying, keep learning about yourself, because it does pay off eventually, so, yeah.
You guys had some of the hardest forward matchups that you've had in the Bahamas. And just what did you feel like you guys as a front court learned about yourselves from those games?
I mean, I loved it, honestly. I think Coach every day is challenging us in practice with our practice players, rebounding, getting stops, all this stuff, so to really put that to test and, be pretty successful at that was definitely rewarding. And he always talks about wanting to embrace the challenges and embrace being uncomfortable and stuff like that. So another thing, just learning that and, looking forward to that. And it's going to matter, obviously, like in March and later on. So I would definitely say it's good. It was exciting, again, being successful, but definitely have a lot more work to do.